Hello friends, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to discuss constants in C. What is constant? The constant in C is a read-only variable whose values cannot be modified once they are declared in the C program. The constant can be any data type like integer, float, and character. We define a constant in C language using this keyword. Here is the syntax. Constant, data type, variable name, value. Here the important note is that we have to initialize the constant variables at declaration only. Here if we see about the declaration, like how we have to declare the constant variable. So first two types are not correct way because we are not assigning the value to the variable during declaration. If we write any of these two types, the system provides an error during compilation. And if we see the third one, we are assigning the value during declaration. So this is the correct way to use constant variable. Next, we have few types of constants in C. Integer constant, character constant, floating point constant, double precision floating point constant, array constant, structure constant. Here we have two properties of constants in C. What is that? What is what are those? Initialization of initialization with declaration. So we can only initialize the constant variable in C at the time of its declaration. Otherwise, it will store the garbage value. Second one, immutability. The constant variables in C are immutable after its definition. That is, they can be initialized only once in the whole program. After that, we cannot modify the value stored inside that variable. Here word immutable, it means we cannot modify the value. Next one, defining constant using hash define preprocessor. We can also define a constant in C using hash define preprocessor. The constants defined using define, hash define or macros that behave like a constant. Here is an sample example. Hash define constant name value. We can see the example program for this. This is the sample example. Here we are using the hash define. It's a very constant name. It's a value. So here we are printing that constant value. Here it's a format specifier %2f. So it takes two decimal places because we have written 2. So in the output we can see two decimal places. Here output is the value of pi is 3.14. This is a sample example. Next, scope rules in C. The scope of a variable in C is the block or the region in the program where a variable is declared, defined and used. There are two types of scope rules in C. First one is global scope, second one is local scope. First one, global scope in C. The global scope refers to the region outside any block or function. The variables declared in the global scope are called global variables. Global variables are visible in every part of the program. Global is also called file scope as the scope of an identifier starts at the beginning of the file and ends at the end of the file. Next, we have a linkage here, linkage of variables in global scope. What is that? Global variables have external linkage by default. It means that the variables declared in the global scope can be accessed in another C source file. We have to use extend keyword for that purpose. Next, second one, what is local scope in C? The local scope refers to the region inside a block or a function. It is the space enclosed between the braces. The variables declared within the local scope are called local variables. Local variables are visible in the block they are declared in and other blocks nested inside that block. Local scope is also called block scope. Local variables have no linkage. Thank you all.